So what I've done in the last 16 years in private practice is I've developed a cross-examination strategy that highlights everything that my client does right. DWI officers are trained to look for cues or clues of impairment or intoxication. The reality is there are hundreds of clues and cues that they are trained to look for. So for example, in your DWI cases, there are two phases. Phase one is when the vehicle's in motion, and that's when the officer either observes or investigates and finds out how the motorist was driving the car. Phase 1B is when the officer directs the motorist to pull over, and that's called the stopping sequence. The stopping sequence is the first divided attention test that a police officer puts the motorist through. Now, at that point, the officers are trained to look for certain clues. Clue number one, does the motor vehicle flee? Clue number two, does the motor vehicle fail to stop, delay? Does it pull over to the right, strike a curb, and does it come to an abrupt stop? So there's a second phase, and that's after the motor vehicle pulls over. And now that's called the personal contact. The officers are trained to look for one or more documents while asking distracting and annoying questions. And what they're looking for is to see if you answer the questions timely and rationally, but they're looking to see if you retrieve the correct documents, all of the documents, how you get the documents. Do you fumble the wallet that the document's in? Do you drop the license? So after you have provided the officer the necessary documents, eventually that officer is going to ask you to step from the car, and that is yet another divided attention test, and that's called the exit sequence. The officers are trained that people that are intoxicated or maybe just slightly affected by alcohol could have a difficult time getting out of their vehicle, and they're looking for certain clues. Those clues include, can the motorist take their seatbelt off? When they are getting out of the car, does the car lurch forward because they had the car in drive or reverse and they take their foot off the brake? Does the person have to touch the car to exit the car? Does the person have to touch the car to walk to the field sobriety test location? And the government is under no obligation at any point in the process to tell a judge or a jury everything that my client did right. That's my job. And so what I do is I use their manuals and I highlight everything that you did that would not lead someone to believe that you were intoxicated or even slightly impaired by alcohol or drugs.